Hi Floss Tube, I'm Sally. I'm StitchySally here on YouTube and also over on Instagram. Today is the 5th of June 2025 and this is Floss Tube number, I think it's 99. Sorry, I haven't made any notes. I wasn't sure whether I was going to do this or not today. So yeah, I've not made any notes. I think it's 99. Who knows? A very warm welcome, whether you are a new or returning viewer. It is lovely to have you here. If you are new and you do like what you see, I hope that you will hit that subscribe button and like my videos. Thank you to those of you who come back every time and leave me lovely comments as well. It is very, very much appreciated. I'm going to get started. I have some fully finishes to show, I have some finishes. I have a couple of new starts and some whips, a little bit of stitchy kindness. So I'll start with my book of days. I'll do a quick life update at the end as well. So that's my book of days for May. So I have stitched every day. Some days I've stitched on several things depending on what we were doing. And then, oops, that's July, and my June. I haven't filled in last night's actually, I forgot to fill it in, I need to do that. And I've got these little stickers, Stitchy inspired stickers that I got from the works. When I went in to get my scrapbook, Abby said to me, "Oh, we've got these. I think you might like these. They're £2. So if you fancy some Stitchy inspired stickers, pop to the works." They are quite the more for scrapbooking rather than just normal stickers, so they are quite raised up and everything, but I rather like those. So yeah, that's my, well, it's not book of days, it's my planner, my 5-year planner. So I will start with my FFOs, and the first one is this one, and this is Love Poppet Rockin Robin. And I stitched this as part of the Best of British Sal that is being hosted by lovely Sally at Flossy Sews and Grows. So I've just done a hoop finish, bit of ribbon to hang it up, a 2025 charm, and I have used a card hoop butt. I couldn't remember hoop butt. And I learnt how to do this. I mean, it's not absolutely perfect, but I learnt how to do this through a tutorial by Catkin and Lily, and I have linked that. It's several floss tubes back if you want to go and have a look, but yeah, Catkin and Lily. So really, really pleased with that. And this is, honestly, this is a game changer, doing it like this. It really is. It's so much easier. And then I finally plucked up the courage to finish my Blackbird design stockings from Home for the Holidays. So that's the first one. These are all stitched on 32 count vintage country mocha. I don't remember the threads, and as I say, I've not made notes, so that's the first one. They're not perfect. I struggled round, sort of round all the shape bits, but I'm happy with them. I am absolutely chuffed to bits with them. And the backing fabric came in a fat quarter pack from the works a few years ago. So that's the first one. It's the second one. Same backing fabric again. I just need to get some charm. Well, I've got some charms on the way. I had to order a few 2024 charms because I didn't have any left. And then that one. I made beaded hangers for them as well. And that's the backing fabric on that one. And then the fourth one. So these four were all stitched in 2024. And then we have that one which was stitched this year. And that's got that backing fabric on it. So really, really pleased with those. So pleased with the way they've turned out. I was not looking forward to doing them. I've been putting them off for way too long, and I just thought, right, come on, get yourself sat down and get them done. I did do one first, but because I wasn't feeling very well, it made me feel a little bit sick, so I had to just do the one. I pinned the rest because I'd already cut them out and I didn't want the fabric fraying and me ending up with not enough fabric to do anything with them. So they've been done over a few days, but they're done. Right, so finishes now. So I have 4 finishes since the last time I filmed, and this is the first one that I finished, and it's the August Sheep by Lotus Lake Stitching, which Elaine and I are hosting a Sal, Ellie Welly Stitcher, Stitch Sheet for 2025. I did change, I think I mentioned last time, I changed the colour of the sunflower petals, and I also changed the colour of the top colour in August. So I need to get this and July actually mounted, ready to display on my calendar. And then finish this one. This was my New Year's Day start with lovely Sarah of Sermi Sarah, and Ross Clark Crafts also joined us. She'd already started hers, so they've both finished. It's Modern Folk Embroidery, Dream of a Winter Garden, and I have stitched this with the called for, well actually no, not the called for, the DMC conversion, which I really, really like. I'm sorry, I'm having a bit of bother this morning. And I've stitched it on a 36 count winter moon. And there we are, all done. And I love it. Absolutely love it. I did miss off the outer border. There was just a green single border around it, and I didn't really think I did anything to it, so I didn't bother doing it. Not sure whether I'm going to frame this or make it into a drum. Might do a drum. I shall have to see. But yeah, thank you so much for letting me stitch along with you. Really enjoyed it. And I say that the top and bottom border went so much quicker. So yeah, that's finish number 2. Project bags are falling over now. And finish number 3 is Flossabilities, Cabin in the Woods. And this chart was a gift from Lauren of Flossabilities. So thank you so much, Lauren, for gifting it to me again. I've loved stitching this. Absolutely loved it. So this was my birthday start in December last year with the hashtag Cozy Cabin Birthday Sale. So weirdly enough, now that I've finished this, I'm starting to think about what I'm going to start for my next as my next birthday sale. So those are the threads, absolutely gorgeous threads on my lovely Charlie Feathers floss drops. Sorry, let's pick that up. I've just dropped the chart on the floor. Well, I didn't drop it, it slipped off. So I stitched this on 32 count, grey with silver stars. And there we are, all finished. So these stars and things, I didn't follow the pattern totally. They are more or less, but just now and again I got myself a bit mixed up, but you can't tell. There is one mistake on the chart that I am not unpicking. Well, should I say not on the chart, but a mistake that I've made that I am not unpicking. It's only a very small mistake. So absolutely love that. So thank you so much, Lauren. I just loved stitching that. Maybe I shall make, I don't know, I'm not going to make any promises, but you know, I have Silent Night. I think it's called Silent Night by Lauren and Sam. And you never know, I might make that my birthday start this year. I was considering buying a chart, and then I thought, no, do not do that. You have lovely charts in your stash that you can use instead of buying. So, and then my next finish is this one. It's Primitive Hare Protection, and that was a free design on her Instagram, and I think she has now put it up on her personal Facebook page. She hasn't done it on the Primitive Hare one yet, so whether she will or not, I don't know. But yeah, this, because the this is shown on some of Isabel's fabric, Dark Spells linen, but I stitched mine on a 36 count Coffee Craft Fabrics Fabric of the Month, and I love that. So this is all stitched in 310. These bits are supposed to be stitched in 712. I don't have any 712, and I'm not just going to order that. I should have ordered it when I did that order that I did at Peacock, but I never thought. So I can't remember what I decided to use instead, and then when I got it in there I didn't like it, so I used DMC 04 instead. But look at him, isn't he fantastic? I absolutely love him. So I will move on to new starts. I did have another finish, but I can't show it. I think, had I finished it last time? I don't remember whether I'd finished last time or not. I don't think I had. So I had a new start for the Saturday night stitch along that I do with my dear friend Lainey. Sorry for the crinkling. I started Button Box from In Friendship's Way. And I will just say, just in case you don't know, there is a correction for this. I can't remember the website, but there is a correction for the button box. So I am stitching this in the DMC conversion, and which way up? There we go. I'm stitching it on 32 count platinum linen, and that's my start up to now. I don't know how I managed to get as much as I did done, because I put it down to watch the finale of Doctor Who, and by the time the finale had finished, I couldn't concentrate very well because I was heartbroken. I won't say any more than that just in case you haven't seen it and you want to see it. So yeah, that is my start on that. Lots of lovely mortar in the non-existent bricks yet. Yeah, I wouldn't make a very good brickie, would I, trying to put mortar in before I've done anything with bricks. Oh, I didn't, did I? Did I show you the threads? There we go, the threads. Mine's not on it. So I'm just going to put this back. And next new start, well technically it's not my next new start, these are not in any particular order, so I spun the wheel to get a new start for Wednesday, and this one came up. It's Cottage Garden Samplings Peacock Pinkeep, and I bought this last year. When did it come out? Was it last year? Does it say when it came out? Yes, 2024. So yeah, I bought this last year through Coffee Craft Fabrics. I bought it with some fabric that she'd dyed. It's stitched in DMC with one hand dyed, and that's Weeks Dye Works Deep Sea. So as I say, this is a 32 count Coffee Craft Fabrics. Megan doesn't name her fabrics. So it's just a piece. Oh, that's blowing out. It's a little bit deeper shade than that, but that was what I managed to get stitched last night. And I don't know what, I started here with the beak. So I'd actually started that way because I had the pattern the wrong way. So I didn't unpick it, so these stitches don't go the same way as the rest of them, but nobody's going to see that. So that's where I got to. Love it. Saw a lot of peacocks yesterday when we were out. It's that time of year. They were very noisy. Don't think I've ever heard them so noisy before. And then the final new start is the September sheep from Lotus Lake Stitching. So this one here. So I'm stitching these with mostly the called for DMC. I have swapped out one when it comes to the sun and things like that because it was brown and I didn't like it. So I'm stitching all of these individually, as you've already seen, on 32 count raw opalescent linen from Zweigart, and that was my start from last Friday. So I also, besides doing the stitch sheet for 2025 with lovely Elaine, I also stitch sheep on a Friday with my very dear friend Barb. Even though she isn't stitching and hasn't been able to stitch for a while now, I still do it. I still stitch with her. So those are all my new starts. I am not, because I would normally stitch Cabin in the Woods on a Thursday. I'm not having a new start. Tonight I'm gonna just stitch on something that I've already got on the go, because Elaine and I are going to be starting something later in June, which I'll show in a minute. So this is my Monday evening stitch, and it's Stacy Nash Primitives Rose Cottage Sampler Pinkeep. And I have been considering leaving this bottom piece off, but I don't think I'm going to. I think I like it too much as a whole not to stitch that piece. I think it was just the thought of stitching all that. So this is Charted to Stitch in DMC, and I'm stitching it on a Fabrics by Crafty Kate November 2024 fabric of the month, and it never shows up very well on camera, which is very annoying because it's a bit like a, I don't know, like a lavendery grey sort of colour, but it never shows up very well on camera. So that is where I am at. So I have made a mistake. I got, I don't know, too many green stitches somewhere. So this is closer to the house than it should be. It's only one stitch off, and I wasn't going to unpick it. So that is that one. And I've not decided yet on the personalisation that I'm going to use for this. I've got an idea what I want to do, but we'll see. So, yeah, love how that's looking. It's bigger than you think as well. You tend to look at it and think, oh, it's only small. It is not. Oh, I've forgotten one. I'll just pause a minute. Sorry about that. So, next WIP. Yasmin's Made with Love, Never Forget. Beautiful, beautiful design. I won this on one of Yaz's floss tubes quite a while ago. So I'm stitching this with DMC, and then there's some Tom and Lily threads as well. And Yaz sent me those with the pattern, and they're beautiful to stitch with as well. I've used this one, and I don't know which one of these two, I can't remember which one it is. So I'm stitching this on 36 count Pearl Grey by Zweigart. And there we are. Absolutely gorgeous. It does take some stitching, but it is beautiful. Can't quite see the very pale blue flowers there, so that's what I was stitching on Tuesday night. I was getting these filled in. The words in the middle, I think I'm going to use a different thread, but I haven't decided what yet, because I don't think it's going to show up very well. What it is now. It's these what's done for these flowers here, so I think it's just going to blend in too much to the fabric for it to be done to do for wedding. So I think, because I'm not having a new start tonight, I think I'm going to stitch on that, do a bit more on that. Sorry, I've not undone this one because I forgot about it. So it's Long Dog Samplers at the Pilgrim, and I am joining in the My First Long Dog Sal, which is hosted by lovely Amanda at Alba Stitcher. Let's Get the Dogs Out Sal with lovely Elaine, Ellie Welly Stitcher, and Long Dog Sampler Sunday, which is hosted by Mrs Hannah Woolstonholme and Cheryl Cross Stitch Crazy. So I'm just using 3 colours: Anchor Black, DMC White and Carrie's Creations. Oh, Old Wild Red for the wording. And this is on 20 count Balana. It's not white. Just add a colour number, so I'm not entirely sure. Can I get it? Oh, there we go. So I was hoping to finish page 9 on Sunday, but I didn't quite get it done. So hopefully that'll be finished this Sunday. And then I can move on to page 10. Loving this. Absolutely love it. I think it's just one of, well, I think it's just my favourite thing to stitch. Always look forward to picking it up. So I need to get my next page gridded so that if I get that page finished on Sunday, I can start straight away on the next page. And then my final whip. Oops, oh, I'll get that later. I'll just hold that back here. So it's No More version 2 by Birdie's Crossing. And I'm stitching this with some Victoria Motto sample threads that I bought off her eBay store years ago. I'd used a little bit of some, and when I was debating what to stitch this in, I thought I'll just use those. So there we go. This is my thread a day piece, although it doesn't always get stitched, doesn't always get picked up. But I'm doing quite well, actually. Doing quite well with it. I don't remember where I was at the last time I showed this. I think I was stitching on this motif here. So I've got Sexism stitched, these motifs here, and now I've started over here. Do have to go back and put a bird in there. So this motif here is the same as this motif, and I am going to do some swapping about. I was going to leave it, but then I decided I needed to do, I think it would bug me, and I know I've seen a couple of other Flosstubers say, so if you look at the bottom there, this here is not in line with this. So I think what I'm going to do is move Bigotry over here. So pull this over here so I can move that over, and then put Transphobia over this side. Hopefully that will work. I'll have to see whether it will or not. As you can see, I've scribbled down the bottom to remind myself to do it. And then, as I said, Elaine and I are going to have a new start, and we don't have a hashtag for it. If you want to join us, please do. I haven't got anything, I've not got it kitted up yet, but we're going to start this on the 21st of June, and it's Heart in Hand, no it's not, it's Jeanette Douglas, Chubby You. So we're going to start that on the 21st of June, if anybody hasn't and would like to join us. Don't know what I'm going to stitch it on yet. Not decided. What is it stitched on? I don't suppose I'll have it anyway, but I might. 40 Count Oatmeal by Seraphim. Or Weeks Dye Works Confederate Grey. Well, I don't have either of those, so I shall just use something that I do have. I always thought that fabric was just called grey now, actually, but anyway. So that is going to be my new start later in the month, which is why I'm not starting anything tonight. Right, I had some Stitchy kindness. Lovely Jenny, who is one of my viewers, and we also follow each other on Instagram. She messaged me to say she had some 40 count fabric and would I like it. She can't stitch on it now. I'm stitching on it still while I can, because it's probably going to come a time when I can't anyway. So, lovely card. Lovely, lovely puffin. Need to go up to Empton actually and have a look at the puffins. So she sent me some 40 count cream. Oop, sorry, glare. And some 40 count flax. These are all lovely, lovely neutrals, which I like. And 40 count light blocker. So thank you so much, Jenny. Really, really appreciate that. And I shall look forward to putting them to good use. So that is that. I do not have any Flosstuber mentions. I am really, really struggling to catch up. I've had to take quite a lot out of my watch later list. I might have to clear them all together because I still can't use my earbuds. I'm managing to watch a little bit, but it just very much depends. I can't expect my husband to sit in there every afternoon while I catch up on Floss Tube. I mean, I could sit in there, whichever, but anyway, as I say, I'm trying, but it's not going very well, trying to get caught up. So I'll do a life update. As you know, I've not been very well. I did go back to the doctors because I still wasn't feeling right. My ear is absolutely fine. There's no sign of infection anymore. So I'm like, great, this is going to be my cough all over again, isn't it? Not knowing what's going on. So by what I've described, he thinks it could be eustachian tube dysfunction. So he suggested some strong decongestants. Try them for a week, 3 a day. And see whether that makes any difference. So weirdly, I mean, I found some things online that are supposed to help with it, so I've been doing those as well. I had a really good day yesterday. I did not feel too bad at all, which I'll tell you what we did in a bit. And then I went and picked my prescription up for the decongestants, took one last night, and about an hour and a half, couple of hours after I'd taken it, I started to feel really weird. I felt like I was panicking, felt like my heart rate was up. I had a dry mouth, which he did tell me I'd have a dry mouth, and he did tell me it could raise my blood pressure as well. So I went to bed, I couldn't sleep, I had the most awful night. And basically the reason I'm doing this Floss Tube this morning is just to take my mind off it. I wasn't going to do it, and then I thought, it's raining, I can't even go out for a walk. Well, I could, but I don't really want to get wet. So I thought I'll do my Floss Tube, take my mind off it. And I will say this, the symptoms from whatever is going on in here feel worse today. So I've had a look. I try not to read the patient information leaflet. I've read it this morning. It says if you have any of these symptoms, side effects, stop taking them and either see your pharmacist or your doctor. So I think I'm going to go and have a word with the pharmacist, explain everything and see what they say. But I just, in this day and age, why can they not have medication that doesn't make you feel ill? But anyway, I'll just see what they say. I mean, this thing is difficult to diagnose. It might not even be that. It could be something else. Who the hell knows? So I don't really know what's going to happen. Like I say, I'll just see what the pharmacist says. If needs be, I'll have to go back to the doctors again. And on a good note, while we were out yesterday, I got a phone call on behalf of the plastic surgery department. Anybody who's been with me for a while will know I have been waiting over 10 months for it was an urgent referral to the plastic surgery department for a possible basal cell carcinoma on my ear. So I got a phone call yesterday to say that they'd opened up some appointments for Saturday afternoon, and would I be able to go? So I said yes. Can I come around this time? So I now have an appointment for Saturday afternoon. Not at the hospital I was supposed to be going to, but that's fine. I'm not particularly bothered about that, as long as I finally get seen, because to be honest, I had a feeling I was going to still be waiting a year after I'd been referred, which, I mean, it's not far off anyway. End of July I was referred, and we're now at the beginning of June. So I know I'm going to be nervous, but I felt so giddy because I'd finally got an appointment. I just want rid of it. So I don't know whether I mentioned when I'd seen the doctor last time, he was quite shocked that I was still waiting. I'm sorry if I'm repeating myself. And he said if I'd have asked him how long it would be, he would have said 4 months. So I've been waiting a long, long time. So we'll see what they have to say. So yesterday we went to the Animal and Bird of Prey Park, which we've been to before. We had a lovely day. They have got some new animals. They've got capybara and otters, and I love otters. They've changed a lot of it about as well, so it was really, really nice to see the different animals and new enclosures. And they've got some animals that are pregnant. They've got animals on birds on eggs, which was lovely. And then after that, I had contacted the lady at the farm to see if we could go on Tuesday. Spoken to her a few weeks back at the local market, and they go, so we get eggs from them actually at their farm, but they do meat and stuff like that, milk, and we got talking about sheep because I'd wanted some lamb burgers. So she said, why don't you come and have a cuddle with some lambs? We've got some lambs the mothers have abandoned. So they were, hand feeding, bottle feeding them and what have you. So she said, why don't you come? So last week was half term, so we didn't because she's got children. So I've messaged her and said, could we go Tuesday afternoon? And she was busy, so she said, what about Wednesday? So I said, well, we're going out, but if I message you when we leave the animal park and see if it's okay then. So she said, yeah, that's fine. So I did that, and she said, yeah, if you're quick, if we're quick with it, then yeah, do come. So I'll just show you a couple of photos. So there we go. Little cuddle with a lamb. And then this one is Jeannie. She's named after Gene Simmons of Kiss. You can see her little face. Is she adorable? So that absolutely made my day. And Abby got to cuddle her. Well, she tried to cuddle a couple, but they were a little bit boisterous, let's just say. So yeah, that was a really nice experience, actually. I've never ever done that before, so that was lovely. And she did say it's a shame that we hadn't gone when they were still bottle feeding them as much, because we could have fed them. But she said, come back next year and we'll, you can do it then. So that was really, really nice. So I had a really nice day yesterday, did not feel too bad at all, and then I'm feeling pretty shitty today, but anyway, it is what it is, isn't it? Hopefully one day I'll start to feel totally fine. Sorry, I'm getting distracted by a couple of birds out there. Sorry. Right, I'm going to go. I am probably not going to watch this back. I'll probably just upload it. So apologies if there's any mistakes in it. And I'll go in a bit and see if I can see the pharmacist and see what they say. So, sorry, I could just hear, I didn't know whether somebody was coming in. So that is me. I'm sorry it's 3/4 of an hour long. I wasn't intent on having it that long, but I do apologise. So hopefully I will see you in another 2 weeks. Might have better news by then. Might be feeling totally 100% by then. So take care, everybody. Thank you so much for coming back and watching. And enjoy every single stitch. Bye.